Hey guys, welcome back to another 5-minute market update. You're with your host, Trader Dax. If you like our content and these quick updates, please leave a like, comment, or share this content with your friends that are also into crypto and markets. That's pretty much it. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and let's get stuck in. At the moment here, we are looking at the SPX. This is an actual live market, I should say the spot market, but basically last few weeks, we've talked about the potential for this 16-week to be the high, and usually there's a 24-week cycle from the bottom. So the bottom, which was October 13th, basically we're looking for 24 weeks from there, should be some time of the cycle bottom, and halfway through, so this was a right translated cycle, pushing us into a potential uptrend now, but we need to make sure that we hold this higher low here and then push up to make a high to lock in that uptrend, right? It would be invalidated if we make a new low below the October 13th lows, which is below 3,500 on the SPX, right? Last couple of weeks, we were looking at this range that we've been in and the break and close below this downtrend, which happened last week. And we've been pretty bearish since. I'm just going to zoom into the ES, which is the futures market on CME. And we can see that we've been in this trading range. We came up and rejected off the trading range, and we talked about that, and then had these two bearish weeklies. You'll see me talking about those in the last few videos and how that could possibly lead to the beginning of a downtrend, which seems to be locked in now. And we've lost this weekly order block here, which, to be honest, had to stay bullish for us to, and act as support for us to stay into an uptrend and price, come down, put in some sort of a candle similar to this one here with a long wick below it and a short body, and it might possibly turn green and then push the upside. That didn't happen. We got the bearish close below the weekly order block, and now the market seems to be quite bearish. As you can see here below this weekly order block, has acted as resistance, tagged it just yesterday as well. And then this morning, which was interesting, had quite a big sell-off. Now, probably one of the most notable things you need to be aware of right now is we're coming back to retest the 200 daily moving average. Now, this is rejected multiple times as the previous highs, and usually in bear markets, price doesn't get above this or spend much time above it at all. And if it does and comes back below, it usually signifies that it was actually a bull trap, which was sort of getting that signal at the moment, and price is on it right now. So basically, this daily needs to end up being a big bull hammer, sort of a candle that would look similar to this one just here, with a big tail below, a square body, short square body, and then maybe potentially we reverse off that 200 daily moving average and this downtrend from the all-time high, and that sort of acts as support, the two combination of those, and we sort of move to upside. So it's a really big important day in how we close tomorrow morning after the New York session. Okay, at the moment, the morning session for Asia, so the after hours session, was very bearish, and I'll just give you the zoom in on that. So this was the New York session last night, and you can see the big volatility in there. Usually the Asia session is very small. So the Asia open session was just this little bit back here yesterday, and the London session was somewhere through here. And then we got all the big action in the New York session. That's pretty standard, except this morning we got a lot of price action in the Asia session, which is fairly uncommon. I'll just show you. I don't have the indicator up, so don't worry about it. But that's a pretty good example of a massive movement happening in the Asia session to the downside. It's not something you see very often. I'm not sure if this was some type of news event coming out of Bank of Japan or something like that I'm unaware of, but so far this was quite a big sell-off in the Asia session, which is usually doesn't happen, right? Usually the big moves are kept to, the London time zone or the New York time zone. It's rare on ES that we see a really big move down like that. So it's not really a good sign, to be honest. And we'll have to wait and see if that follows through. The Asia session has another big sell-off, or New York has another big sell-off, and we break through these two supports. If that happens, I'm definitely expecting price to come down and sweep this liquidity zone down here at 3,800. And that would be very bearish for cryptos as well, right? So basically, there's a potential. So we're at 20 weeks right now. So we could potentially come back down for another 4 weeks. So pretty much the entirety of March before we start to head back up. So that's pretty much it for the stock market. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's keep moving onto cryptos. So at the moment, the market isn't looking too great on the 12-hour time frame. We've come back into this 4-hour order block. It's sort of a 12-hour as well, and price is rejecting. You can see on the 12-hour here that we've sort of rejected from this zone and pulling back, so it's acting as resistance. And we have the shooting star reversal into that level is never a good sign. So the main thing that I'm looking for at the moment on BTC is a push up and a close above this, let's just say 2,400 level. Sorry, 24,000 level, right? If we can get a close above 24,000, then we're probably on for a push and another sweep of the highs up here. But at the moment, price seems to be holding us down. So pretty key level through here as well, because it was one of the key highs from the previous range that we were in. And yeah, it just looks a little bit bearish, getting dragged down obviously by the stock market that's also dumping. And if this rejects from here, which it looks like it currently is, we can easily swing momentum to come back to our previous daily and weekly support levels from, the previous range back here at 21,400. I think that is probably more likely the play at the moment. So at the moment, I'm short from in here. There was a really nice short entry overnight just before I went to bed last night. Went to short off here after SFP of all the highs through this current range and rejection from getting back above this 4-hour order block. And so, yeah, went short in here, still holding that short. I'm expecting this to come down and at least sweep these lows through here. So looking for that, and potentially we get some sort of a bullish divergence or something like that, or an SFP through here, and then the stock market bounce as well, and we get that move, and confirmation of that move to upside would be a break above 24. But if that doesn't happen, then I'm looking for a retest down here and a bit more of a deeper pullback. Now the key levels that really have to hold, basically this zone through here that has a heap of support, right? So we've got the daily support level, we've got multiple order blocks through here as well, and that's pretty much, we don't want to see price getting below 21,000. Let's just leave it at that. If it does, then we're looking for the range low back here, because this is a range through here. We'll be looking for 18, pretty much 19K, right? So that's pretty much it for BTC at the moment. Currently, low times looking bearish, getting dragged down by the stock market. So it makes sense to be short here at the moment until we get some sort of a bullish, reversal structure, something like sweeping the lows, bullish divergence, or something like that, similar to what we had here, right? So, we had sort of price come down, make the first low, pushed up. Then we came back down, swept the low, really nice sort of range structure here, big bullish pin bar, easy entry off that one, bullish divergence, break out the top of the range, and then pump hard. So that would be sort of the same play we would be looking for here, if that was going to end up playing out, right? Let's see if I can find this chart. And then the other thing as well that I like to keep note of is the 12-21 crossover, which is sort of both lines going sideways at the moment. But if we do get a move down here, we will finally get that daily crossover to the downside. On the 4-hour, obviously it's already crossed over, telling us that we need to be looking mainly for short side at the moment. Actually, I think it's currently above. Yeah, it's still above it. We're about to get a crossover to the downside, depending on the next couple of closes through here. So that's pretty much for the 12-21 crossover. Altcoins, looking at FET, because this is a really nice structure here at the moment, and that potentially could break out to upside. So if BTC ends up moving to the upside, these AI coins are going to absolutely launch and go for their next rally. So really big push sideways and then more of a pullback. So that's, that standard Elliott wave sort of structure where you go sideways and then you have the deep pullback on the next one. So the 2's flat, then the 4 has a big pullback. Then you have the 5th wave, which should at least get a little bit higher than this previous one. So that's the last leg, I think, for a lot of these pushes that easily could get, get taken out, right? The other one as well that we're trading at the moment is Mina. If I can find the, sorry, 1 second. There it is. Mina seemed to be outperforming everything when everything pulled back really aggressively this morning, and Mina had continued to push and had quite a nice 4-hour close. So that was pretty nice. If we do end up getting that break to the upside on BTC, which I outlined just before, FET I think is definitely going to run really hard, and Mina is going to run really hard. And the other one that's been really bullish also is Illuvium, right? So we talked about the potential for this to run out after breaking sort of through this support. So bouncing off this support, I should say, and the breakout of this downtrend through here, and we had a nice push, right? Getting held down at the moment by this resistance through here. So potentially, it has a little bit more of a pullback with BTC. If this level can hold through here, then I'm going to expect this to continue to have some bullish movement, and I'll be eventually looking for it to break these equal highs through here, and that will lead to its next strong push and leg up to retake out $100 again. So that's pretty much it. Those are the main altcoins I think to keep our eyes on. Obviously, a lot of the market is, just in this big sideways range at the moment. And so it breaks the upside of any of those ranges, I think is going to result in a really big move. But that is also going to need Bitcoin to move out to the upside of its range that's been in as well, and finally break through 25K and push to 30. But none of that's going to be able to happen while the stock market is continuing to move down. And the stock market likes to move in really strong directional biased moves, right? So it's either going up quite strong or it's coming down quite aggressively in this entire bear market. All we're going to need is some bad news on CPI next week and coming in hot again or something like that, and this market will be back down near the lows in no time. And so you need to be a bit careful with crypto at the moment, not be overexposed or have any crazy stop loss or liquidations that could get taken out over the next couple of weeks if this does end up capitulating and we lose these key levels. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you all in the next episode.